Hello, we are going to talk about the country of France. My name is Daniel Alvarado. France is a Western European country whose capital is Paris. It is located to the south with Spain and Andorra, to the west with Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, and Italy, and the north and west with the Atlantic Ocean. France has a population of 67,320,000 to the 216 inhabitants, of which 32,475,891 are men and 34,787,547 are women. The official currency of France is the euro. 1 euro is equivalent to 24 Mexican pesos, and also 1 euro is equivalent to $1.22.
Hello, I'm Santiago, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the weather and the language in France. I would like to start talking about the weather because it's very changeable, right? In this country, the weather is very changeable because from June to September it's hot, and from October to December it's very cold. So if you want to go there, if you want to visit this amazing country, you will need to carry on with life and warm clothing. That's an important point to consider, I think. And obviously it depends on how many times you will stay there or when will you go there. You need to investigate all those kind of points. And each state has their own climate. It snows in some of them and it rains in some of them. It depends on the season, obviously. So that's the part of the weather. And the other point is about the language. That in this case is French, which comes from the Latin language and had been used by the Roman Empire.
Hi, I am Milano Saeli Sardiaguayo and I'm going to talk about the incredible and natural that France has. You should to visit these natural areas. The Fats of Versailles. Located in the Surprise Mountain of Reims, this forest is a wonderful reality. Why? Well, because instead of hosting large and leafy trees, this place is so popular that many of these plants have their own names. The Bride, the Umbrella, the Oats Health, and is one of the main attractions of this great Gallic plain. Recreational activities, and to have good time in France, you should to do these recreational activities. In the west part of Paris, the program Let's Go Through the Parks proposed every weekend for September to June free session to get a shape and various green spaces of the pyramid. And if you fancy dancing, don't forget that when the weather is nice, the Argentina roses on the Saint Bernard dog transformed into a king open air dance for a several nights week.
My name is Felipe Dueñas and I'm going to introduce you to the main cultural attractions of France. Let's start our list with a beautiful and symbolic building, the Palace of Versailles. It is an architectural gem and a work of art and lush gardens declared by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. From 1789, ceased to be the official seat of the government to become a museum. The Eiffel Tower, built in 1889, is the most visited monument in the world. It was created for the World's Fair in Paris and at the time represents one of the most ambitious and enormous works of the time. From the tower you will see the city and pass a grateful moment. You must not miss it. The Louvre Museum is one of the most important in France and in the entire world, home to an important handful of works by the most influential artists in history like Da Vinci, Delacroix, Milo, etc. Arc de Triomphe. It is a clear representation of the victories of the French army and of the specific moments in history, such as the passage of the remains of Napoleon Bonaparte on December 15 in 1840.
Hello, my name is Raúl Hernández. Means of transport and restaurants in France. These are the most popular means of transport. Underground with 16 lines is the fastest way to move around the city. Train. They communicate with the underground and circulate through the city center. Bus, the most comfortable and usual. Tram, comfortable, clean and cheap. Finally, the taxi. The best restaurants are Le Précatelan, Le Taille-Levent, Epicure, Le Zinc, and K.
Hello, my name is Antonio Mendoza and I'm going to tell you about the accommodation services in France and the requirements to travel. In France there are several types of accommodation. You can stay from an hotel to camping in many areas of the country. There is also an app called Airbnb, where you can rent houses or apartments for several days at an affordable price. We recommend staying in one of these houses in this app because it is cheaper and more comfortable than staying in an hotel. It is also more private. The requirements to travel to France are the following. If you are Mexican, you don't need a visa. You only need a passport with a minimum validity of 6 months. You cannot be more than 90 days in the country, otherwise you can be sanctioned. Proof of accommodation. Enough money for your stay, minimum 50 euros per day. Airplane ticket back to your country of origin, and health insurance.